Hello, and welcome to episode 112, maybe, of the Stress Knits podcast. My name is Stacy, also known as Stress Knits Yarn on Instagram and Stress Knits over on Ravelry. I'm coming to you from a snowy Metro Detroit, Michigan, where I live with my husband Doug, our daughter Eliza, and our pug puppy Esther. Today is April 17th, I think. It is a Friday. Eliza is going down for a nap, so you might hear some babbling or some laughing, maybe some crying. We'll see. Doug is working downstairs, and I'm here. So, first off, I want to apologize for the audio. I know it sounds weird. In January, when I was in New York, I got bumped into and I dropped my phone and the screen shattered and I haven't replaced it yet. And then lockdown happened and it's the furthest thing from my mind, but I think the microphone is starting to get a little wacky. So for next episode, I might borrow my husband's camera and try it that way. But for now, we're just going to have to deal with this because it's what I have, and I want to talk to you about yarn and knitting. So I hope you are all doing well. I just realized that I forgot to draw the 6K giveaway winner, so you are going to have one more week to enter let me grab it, for this. So we hit 6,000 subscribers, so thank you so much to everybody who has watched for a while, for people who this is the first episode. Yeah, it's one of those numbers that I never thought I would hit, so it just feels very surreal. So I wanted to I'm going to close the door. Okay, so I wanted to do a giveaway as a thank you, and this is a skein I bought at Vogue Knitting Live in New York this past January, and it is Barnyard Knits on the sock fingering base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon in the old coin colorway. So head on over to the Ravelry group. The link is in the description below where the show notes are, and follow the prompt. Thank you to everybody who has been sharing what is making them happy right now, which is the prompt for the giveaway in the YouTube comments, but please make sure you are entering over on Ravelry because that is where I will be drawing from next week because I forgot. Yes, so one more week to enter the 6,000 subscriber giveaway. Thank you all so much, and I cannot wait to get this in someone's hands. So, there's that. I am drinking cold brew with whipped cream. It is one of my favorite things. I call it happy coffee, and it's just really good. Because the whipped cream acts as the sweetener, and it's wonderful. And it's not too sweet. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I also got new glasses. I think I like them. Still trying to figure that out, but I think I do. Yeah, and it's snowing because it's Michigan, and that's what happens in April. So, yeah, I have some fun stuff to talk about. So, I guess let's get into it, and then, I'll just give you a little bit of a roadmap. So we're going to start with a finished object, which you can see the little foot right here. The finished object, I have two hose, which are half finished objects, and I have two works in progress. And then I have a bunch of yarn to show you. Somebody is walking past the house, and Esther likes to howl. Okay, so, yeah, and I'm going to talk to you about shop update stuff, advents, all shop news, and yeah. I will say that I am working on Patreon content again, which is really exciting. Thank you to everybody who has understood the circumstances and the fact that I just haven't been able to focus enough to do that, but I'm working on it right now. I am editing a new vlog for Patreon, and some blog posts. I'm also going to record a color combination idea video, which will be up Sunday. And yeah, I'm really excited about that because not only will it help you think about color combinations of stress knits yarn, but you can also get ideas and take it to one of your favorite indie dyer or just yarn company shops and find similar combinations there. So I think that's going to be really fun and helpful, hopefully. I've been working on it for about 2 weeks now, and I'm really excited to finally record. So that is stuff that's coming up. I think that's it. So let's talk about finished objects. I have one, and it is Christopher Bunny by Susan B. Anderson. So I knit this. I genuinely knit this entire bunny and the sweater in 2.5 days. It was a very quick knit. I used Stress Knits yarn DK for the main body and Perfectly Adequate, and for the sweater, my hair is everywhere. I need a haircut so bad. Does that happen to anybody else when you are due for a haircut? All of your hair kind of just doesn't want to stay in your head. But yes, the sweater is my singles base and my mohair base in Puddle Jumper, which is a colorway I haven't dyed since last summer, and I don't know if I want to dye it again. I don't know. That's still on the fence. But super cute. It is knit completely seamlessly, so you start with the head and then you do ears, you connect the body, 2 arms, 2 legs, and then you knit the sweater separately and just put it on. This little tail, super cute. I don't know, it was really easy. It's Susan B. Anderson, so it's just great instructions. Eliza did not care about this, which is fine. I wasn't expecting anything different. I mean, she's not even 2 yet. So this will probably just sit on a shelf in her room until she wants to play with it, or I don't know. It's just, I really wanted to knit her a bunny for Easter. So here is Christopher Bunny. I highly recommend the pattern. And I wanted to mention, because I had a few questions, I used, 13 grams for the sweater, if that. And for the bunny, I used, it was just shy of half a skein. It was 60 grams, and my DK skeins are 115 grams. So you could definitely get 2 bunnies out of my DK base. And I know a few other people have the same DK base, because it's 250 yards per 115 grams. And so you could definitely get 2 bunnies out of a single skein of DK, which I think is great, especially if you want to make them for gifts. And I think I'm going to make a few more stuffed toys because it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of instant gratification in it, and it just went quickly. And Eliza's birthday's coming up. Her cousin Sam, his birthday's coming up. They were born 2 days and 2 hours apart, which is just, it floors me. I think it's, no, 2 days, 20 minutes. Yeah, 2 days, 20 minutes apart. My sister and I were in the hospital at the same time. It was funny because we were a month and a half different, but we gave birth a month and a half early. So, my sister Alyssa and I were in the hospital at the same time, and I got to visit her and meet my nephew right away, which was really great. So their birthdays are coming up in June 12th and 14th. And then also I have my other nephew, Avery, whose birthday was in January, but I don't know. I just kind of want to knit more stuffies. So I've been looking at like the octopus. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of cute stuffy patterns that Susan B. Anderson has. Also, Rebecca Danger has great ones. So you might see some more stuffies, and it's a great way to get rid of scraps. So that also might be a thing. So Christopher Bunny, Susan B. Anderson, super happy with how it came out. Really happy with the pattern. It was great. Highly recommend that knit. And then I have some hose, which I'm really excited about because I'm incredibly stressed out. Just life is stressful right now, right? It's a bizarre time. It's something we just don't fully understand. We don't really know where the end is, and we just don't know anything. And so I've been turning to sock knitting, which is something I did in college a lot. If you watched the first year of Stress Knits podcast, I'm turning out socks like it's my job. And yeah, I would just, that's also one of the reasons I called my brand Stress Knits, because I stress knit when I was in college, when I was getting ready for our wedding, and just everything that's been stressful in my life, whether it was good or bad, I always had sock knitting or just knitting in general. And so it's kind of fun to get back to what I really loved in the beginning of this whole thing. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of sock knitting. So the first one that I finished is the one that you've seen already. And this is Stress Knits yarn in my favorite base, which is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it is in the SSDGM colorway, which stands for Stay Sexy, Don't Get Murdered. It's a My Favorite Murder reference. And I love it so much. Here is the second. This will be the second sock. This is the second half of the skein. I use about 35 grams for my socks. Yeah, so what do I have to say about this? Both of these socks that I'm going to show you are my basic vanilla sock recipe. So I use 64 stitches on a US 1 needle, knit top down, 20 rounds of 2x2 rib, a leg for however long I want to go, a slip stitch, heel flap, short row heel, and gusset, and then I just knit the foot. I've mentioned this, and I do a wedge toe. My brain is going all over the place. I do a wedge toe, so I do knit one, knit two together, knit to the last 3 stitches, SSK, knit one, and I do that on both sides, and then I knit around, and then I do a decrease, knit, decrease, until I have 12 stitches left, and then I Kitchener. I've mentioned before that my feet grew with being pregnant with Eliza. They grew half a size, and again, it is a good thing for me because I can actually find shoes that fit, because most women's shoes don't start. They started at a size 6, and I was a size 5, 5.5, and now I'm a 5.5, 6, which is really exciting because I can actually find shoes. Yeah, so I knit the foot longer, which obviously my foot's bigger, but I've never had a sock fit this well. I am so excited for it to get cold. I mean, it's snowing right now, but I have no desire to wear socks because it's April. But I'm so excited to pull this box of socks out probably late November. Not November, October. That's usually when it starts getting cold in Michigan, late October. And I'm talking 20 degrees. yeah, so I'm super excited to have this for the next cold season. And it's just a really, I think I found like my perfect foot length, because I've struggled with that a lot, and it's just, yeah, it just fits really well. So instead of casting on the second sock for this, I dyed up a new colorway, and I was so obsessed with it that I dyed myself up a skein, and I just knit a sock. So this is Stress Knits yarn on Favorite in the Where Does the Good Go colorway, which is brand new. It will be in the shop update on Monday. It's a mostly gold skein, but there are flashes of mint and like a peachy pink and white, and I love it. It makes me so happy. I've had this colorway in my head for a while, and I've never been able to execute it and make it look like I wanted to look. But I finally figured it out with a new dye technique that I've been using since Advent, and yeah, I'm just so happy with it. So it's the exact same recipe as this sock, just with a different colorway. Yeah, so I'm really, really excited about this. And the thing that I was really worried about is if it would pool in any weird ways. And it did a little bit here, but that's at the widest portion of my foot and the sock. So there's a little bit of pooling in the gusset, but then it went back to doing what it does. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted something yellow and happy, and this sock has brought me so much joy. I knit the sock in 2 days, which is just insane. This was my sock knitting while I was dyeing yarn for the update. Yeah, and I'm just I'm so proud of this colorway, and I'm so happy with how it knits up in a sock. Yeah, I can't wait. I love it. So 2 hose, soon to become 2 pairs of socks, hopefully. Hopefully I'll have at least 1 by next week. I did start the second Where Does the Good Go sock. And this is inspired by the Tegan and Sara song, Where's the Good Go? I've been rewatching Grey's Anatomy, and I love the song. I love Tegan and Sara, and I don't know, it was just, I kept looking at it, and a few things popped in my head, and then when I don't know what I'm going to name a colorway, I look at my Spotify playlists and what I'm listening to a lot. And I've been listening to Where Does the Good Go on every single walk I've been taking. And I was like, that's it. That has to be it. So, yeah. So I started the second sock. I'm just about four rounds into the ribbing. Yeah. Super excited about it. Here it is in the cake. And I'll show you what it looks like in the skein when I talk about shop update. Really, really excited about this. So then I've just really been knitting on one whip. And that is my Rift tee. And I'm hosting a knit along for the Rift by Jacqueline Cieslak. It is a gorgeous tee pattern, but you have the option for full-length sleeves. There are 2 different neckline options, and obviously you can lengthen the body like I'm doing because I don't want it to be super cropped. And then there are also bust start options, which is really exciting because I've never knit bust starts, and I've always been annoyed that every single shirt I wear, whether it's a hand knit sweater or something that's commercially bought, the front of my shirts my entire life have been higher than I wanted them to be because I have a very full bust, and I always have. So I'm really excited to try bust starts and see how they work. So I'm excited for that. I did look at my gauge, and it is going to be smaller than I wanted. But the fun part about being a yarn dyer is if I'm knitting something in my yarn and it doesn't fit me, it's just a shop sample, which is really exciting. So I'm not super worried if it fits or if it doesn't fit. I can see myself knitting at least one more of these because I am a tight knitter, or at least recently I'm a tight knitter. I think I might go up to a DK weight to knit this. Yeah, just to get closer to gauge, because I really like knitting it on 7s, and honestly, if I would have knit it on 8s, it probably, which is what the pattern calls for, I probably would have hit gauge, but I think it would have been too loose of a fabric for me. I like a denser fabric, and this is not dense by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah. So I think this is going to be about 2 inches smaller than I was hoping for. So we'll see if I like the way it fits, and if I don't, or if it doesn't fit at all, then it's just a shop sample. Because I am using my grubby colorway, which I just love. This is the true color right back here. Yeah, it's just a pink with gray speckles, dark gray speckles, and I love the way it looks. I am knitting the I don't remember what size I'm knitting. I think it might be the 56, because I knew my gauge would be a little off. So I don't know. I don't know. I did math, and there's no way. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. And also this base will block out a lot. So we'll see. I'm not super worried about it. But if you want to join in on the knit along, I highly recommend it. It's just such a great pattern. I've seen a lot of people joining in lately. I'm going to open the FO thread in May, because I've started to see people finishing, so I'm going to open it up in May. And if you use Stress Knits yarn, I've seen people use fingering weight, sport weight, and DK weight, so it really just depends on your gauge. Yeah, so just, I don't know. Yeah, it just really depends on your gauge what base you'll use and what needle size you'll use, right? Because that's how gauge works. Oi, Stacy. I'm gonna drink some coffee. But yeah, I've seen people knit it fingering, sport, or DK. It is a sport weight pattern. That's what it calls for. So there's that. And this goes to June 20th or 21st. I'm just going to call it the 21st, because then if June 20th is the first day of summer, then you just get an extra day. So through June 21st, you can knit a rift tee with us. And if you use Stress Knits yarns, you get 2 entries, so you'll just post your finished object twice in the finished object thread. The prizes, I'm going to offer up a like a sweater quantity of Stress Knits yarn. I think I said 4 skeins of Stress Knits yarn on your choice of fingering or single, so favorite or my singles base, in the colorway of your choice. So I'm really, really excited to do that. And yeah, so here's where I'm at. I've technically knit longer than I'm supposed to where I need to separate the front and the back to make the sleeve holes and the neckline and do all of the bust start stuff. But this is short. This is, the pattern calls for the back to be 9 inches and the front to be 8 inches. But for me, that's just too short. I would never wear it. So, especially because I want to aggressively block it out. I am probably going to knit it to about 13 inches before I start the bust starts. Yeah, so I think I have about 4 more inches to go. I have a progress keeper, yeah. So since you saw it last, I've knit this much, so a pretty significant amount considering I finished 2 socks. I think Doug's upstairs. Oh, I'm so distracted now. And I feel weird because if he's around, I don't want to talk. Okay, so what was I talking about? I'm gonna take a sip of coffee and regroup. Yes, so I'm going to knit it to about 13 inches before I start everything. So that way I will have some length and I will be able to wear it if it fits. Yeah, so I'm using my Sport base in Grubby. Sport is only available through custom orders right now just because it doesn't sell when it's in the shop. So if you're ever interested in Sport, just contact me through the website and I will get you custom order information. So that is the only other thing I've been working on. I have quite a few projects that I've been wanting to cast on, but I think I'm going to share those next week because I have a huge tub of yarn to show you. And I'll show you my stash acquisitions. I already put them away. I have a few skeins of nomadic yarns that came in, and I might have ordered a third because the one colorway that I've been wanting since it was released, which is Honey Bear, she did a pre-order for that, or a dyed to order, so I grabbed a skein of that. So I will show you those next week along with talking about projects that I want to work on because I have a lot of yarn to show you that's going into the shop update. So if you are not interested, that is totally fine. You don't have to be. I will talk to you next week. And if you are interested, let's talk about shop news. So first things first. Yes, I am doing advent calendars for 2020. I think I'm only going to do 2 different options. So one, I've decided not to do Hanukkah calendars this year for multiple reasons, but the main one is I did it last year because people were asking for it and I wanted people to feel included in this because I understand that that's frustrating. But the more that I thought about doing it this year, the more uncomfortable I felt profiting off of something that I really don't know a whole lot about. So for that reason, I don't feel comfortable selling something that I really don't know a lot about, that I don't celebrate. So that's why I'm not doing Hanukkah calendars this year, and I hope that makes sense, and I hope that that's okay with you. Because it made me really uncomfortable thinking about making money off of something that I just really don't know well enough to, it felt weird. So I'm not doing Hanukkah calendars this year, but instead I'm going to do my normal advent. So it is 24 mini skeins. They are 20-gram mini skeins, all individually wrapped, all new colors. I think it's going to be all new colors this year. There might be a few, there might be some oldies returning. I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but it should be mostly new, at least 95% new colorways. and a 100-gram skein of yarn. I'm only doing my favorite base this year because I've discontinued my sparkle base, and yeah, and it also just makes it easier when it comes to wrapping and fulfilling orders. So that will be going up May 4th, which is a Monday. I'm going to start doing my updates on Mondays to make it consistent. So that will be going up Monday, May 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to put up half, and we'll see where we're at. Yeah, so if you want to do an Advent, they will hopefully ship in October. That's the goal. I think I kind of figured out my system of how I want to start dyeing, and I don't have a show to prep for this summer, so I'll be able to start dyeing them quicker and wrapping them quicker. So yes, May 4th, 7 p.m. Eastern, Advents will start. And then in August, I'm going to open up spots for either a 7 or a 12-day mini skein kit. And that way, this will not be called an Advent thing. It's just going to be a December mini skein kit. That's literally all it is. So if you celebrate something other than Christmas, you have something that you can open. I hope that helps. But also, my Advent calendars are not super Christmas based. It's more winter themed usually. There might be 1 or 2 colorways that look Christmassy. I've started planning them. That's why I kind of know in my head how they're going to look. Yeah, so that will happen in August. So that's the plan for Advent right now. If anything changes, I'll let you know, but for right now, it's just going to be the regular Advent thing. I'm not fading because I prefer things to be different. A lot of my colorways kind of naturally go together because I have a very specific palette that I like. So I try to have things coordinate anyway, but nothing is going to fade. So it's going to be pretty random because for me, I really like mini skeins to go into blankets or use them as heels, toes, and cuffs, or yeah, that's really what I like. I like them to add accents to existing projects. So that is the plan for Advent. Yes. Quick reminder that shipping is only happening once a week until everything is back to whatever normal looks like after this. Doug is the only one going out at the moment, just to limit our exposure to the outside world, especially with Eliza. So he is going out once a week to drop off packages, and that has typically been Tuesday or Wednesday. So I've gotten questions that people will order like Thursday and wonder why I haven't sent their package out yet. That's why. Also, the post office is swamped. They're moving as fast as they can, but it's slower than usual, which is perfectly fine. We have to be patient. So yeah, it's usually taking about 1 to 2 days for them to scan my packages in, which is a little stressful, but again, they're doing the best that they can right now. So just heads up, that's what's going on with shipping. And then the last thing is the shop update. So shop update will be Monday, April 20th, at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's just the time that works the best for me and my family, and I also have noticed that it works really well for a lot of you. I know it's not ideal for international shoppers, but yeah, that's just how it is right now. And I also have custom orders open, so if you don't get what you want, as long as it's 3 skeins on the same base, we can do a custom order. Yeah, so this is a very large update. I have almost 300 skeins going into the shop. This is everything single color on the base. So, let's talk about what's going to be in the shop. I decided to focus heavily on Cloud, which is my Surrey alpaca silk base, because there are a lot of patterns coming out using Surrey alpaca, and it's my favorite. If I had to choose between mohair and Surrey, it's Surrey. It is just the best base. So I focused on Surrey alpaca, Halo, which is mohair silk, my favorite base, which is 80/20 Super Rush Merino nylon, and then I also had a few packs of DK and Squishy. And Squishy is my MCN fingering base. So we're going to start with my Cloud base, which is Surrey alpaca silk. I have eucalyptus, palm lines, dusk, which is just, it's so good. Perfectly adequate, which is just a good gray. Have sweet disposition, my jam, bell jar. Ooh, that's blowing out a little bit. There it is. It's hard because there's snow on the ground, so it's bright. But bell jar. Here we go. I don't know what I'm doing. Mountain Mama on Cloud, Golden Hour, breast belt, pillow mint. There it is. Pillow mint. And yes, last but not least, where does the good go on Cloud? Now, there's a new pattern coming out, and again, I'll talk about this more in the video on Sunday, but Andrea Mowry's new pattern, the Vintage 83, y'all, this is gonna be this is going to be mine, and I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm really excited about that. Next, let's go on to Halo, which is mohair silk. So I have my jam. Where does the good go? Sorry that it's getting blown out. The snow is so bright. Where's the good go? Eucalyptus, dusk, palm lines, pillow mint. I'm sorry, it's just so bright. Pillow mint, perfectly adequate, sweet disposition, bell jar, and Betty, which is a beautiful light blue. And then my favorite base. We have Rust Belt, Pillow Mint, Mountain Mama, Perfectly Adequate, Golden Hour, Palm Lines, Betty, My Jam, Sweet Disposition, Bell Jar, I Smell Snow, which is very appropriate, Bubbly, which is like a champagne-y color with pink. Oh, that's perfect, actually. Bubbly, Prudence, Ophelia, Stay Home, which I thought was also very appropriate, Dusk, No Trail to Follow, SSDGM, and last but certainly not least, Where Does the Good Go? It's just so good. Makes me so happy. Next is my squishy base. So I have Sweet Disposition, Grubby, Bell Jar, I Smell Snow. I think this is the last one. No. Pillow Mint, and My Jam. And then we have DK. So we have Dusk. Sorry if you can hear Eliza screaming. She does not want to take a nap. Palm Lines. Ophelia. Rust Belt. Pillow Mint. My Jam, and Golden Hour. So that is all the yarn that's going to be in the shop except for the My Rainbow minis. Super excited to have these back. I love them. So you have Rust Belt, Golden Hour, Pillow Mint, Palm Lines, and My Jam. Super excited about that. And all of those colorways are in full skeins on DK, Favorite, and Cloud. So that's really exciting as well. Yes, so that shop update is Monday, April 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Hope you can make it. I'm super excited about it. Again, it's almost 300 skeins going into the shop, which is a huge update for me. I'm really excited. I put a lot of work into it and just a lot of love into each skein. So I really hope you can make it. Yeah, and I think that's it. So I hope you are having a wonderful day. I hope you are staying safe and staying home, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!